And we're back with the introduction for the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Conrad here.
Dylan. Hilton.
George.
Pablo.
Pablito.
¿Cómo están, amigos?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien.
I love it. So, how's everyone's day?
Just peachy.
Peachy keen?
Peachy, man.
How's life
Viewers
been
at
treating you,
home?
Paul? It's been how long? About a month and a half, 2 months since we've seen you last?
I've lost count. It's been a week or more.
Yeah, minimum.
Life's been good, man. Business has been good. It's been raining a little bit, which helps us landscapers and just life in general. Rain's good. Rain's good.
Yep.
Been watching a little Ranger baseball. Been watching some college baseball, and been playing some golf. Yeah. Been swinging sticks about twice a week.
Are you going full Trump where you're just like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna take this week off and just go golfing?
No, it had nothing to do with being off, but you know, when a client is contemplating over a six-figure contract and he's a member of a country club and says, I'd like to take you golfing and discuss work, I'm going to take him up on that offer.
And you can't show up like you don't know what the hell you're doing.
No, so you got to practice your golf to look good when you're playing with a potential customer.
Right.
And then you got to play just bad enough.
I would say exactly that.
And I was going to ask, is there some type of etiquette where you cannot completely like shut him out?
Well, you play well for about 14 holes, and then you figure out what the score is and go, crap, I'm 3 shots ahead.
Yeah.
Well, let's play a little
holding back
shitty right now.
Yeah.
Let's miss a putt or two.
Okay.
And earn the job, which both times we played in the last 3 weeks, it worked.
Well,
and the art is to lose, but just
by a point.
But just to look real, you know.
Oh yeah, you know, don't make it look obvious. But no, man, been living life, having fun, working out at my ranch and building some fences and stuff, and just nothing crazy, but life's good.
Staying busy. That's awesome.
How about y'all?
So Paul, it's been like 3 months, 4 months since we started the partnership.
We are starting month 4 right now. Yes, you're right. You're right on the money, and it's all good. I'm still learning the computer system. It's a very, very detailed bid system that we have to learn. But why are y'all laughing at me on the computer system?
I just don't. Yeah, it'll be a while.
It'll be by the end of the week, fool. Come on, man. I'm a quick learner. Hey, where I come from, landscaping's outside, not behind a computer.
You're right. You're right.
That's just where I come from.
It's a learning curve now, trying to figure out the software.
But no, man, it's all been good. I guess what we're talking about real quick, Live Oak Studio. We are trying to hire a project manager.
Good.
I mentioned that to y'all a while ago. So we're looking for project managers real quickly. Knowledge of landscaping, Texas driver's license, and come talk to me. Other than that, there's some more things we'd like, but that's the basics. You're going to be running, we got 5 crews that we're running. I would be your boss, Manny be your boss. Manny's my partner. And we're going to let you run the crews and get everything installed while Manny and I keep pushing sales and drawing up designs and getting jobs sold.
How quickly are you looking to fulfill that position?
By the end of the month.
Gotcha. All right. I'll put some feelers out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But no, everything's good on my end. Can't complain.
Right on. Sorry, George, you were saying something about your endeavor with Paul?
No.
You said 4 months?
No, since he started his partnership.
His partnership with the new company.
Oh, with your partnership.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I kind of figured, because I remember when he said, I think we'd start something
whiskey.
February or March.
But hey, while we're talking about George, I want to let y'all know, we did go to George's house and did a demo. Got stuff out of his yard that he was wanting gone like last year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw him a little bone here, man. We're there, and I'm lining out my guys on what to do, what to tear out, what to put in the trailer, what's trash. And he's right there working with them, tearing them out. And I'm like, George, you're paying us to do this. You don't need to help us. He's like, oh, this is my 1 hour of workout before I have to go work, so I'm going to help you. I just stood and watched. Didn't I?
Yeah, it was exactly.
Actually, I tore your ceiling and post apart to figure out what kind of work we got to do.
Hope you got paid for that work that you put in, George.
Man. Well, actually, I don't pay for the gym, so if I don't pay for the gym, I had the free activity, you know. So this is.
But you can. Here's your chance to either make me look good or throw me under the bus. How were my guys, in your opinion?
Pretty good. I mean, I mingled with them. They didn't kick me out of the, of their ways. A
No, that's why I'm asking you. I want
a couple of them, they're like, hey, why are you doing this? Like, no, and the other one's like, hey, hombre, tu não paras segundo, hombre.
Sí, hombre.
You don't stop for a second, you know?
Yeah, you don't stop for a second.
Tú necesitas Mateo ahí, tú sabes trabajando, listo ahí, vámonos.
But the main reason is, man, these guys, I'm sure if you went through, Paul's criteria, of course, the guys would be working hard there. But I don't give a chance. I don't give it a chance. Like, they are working slow, and I am the one pushing stuff in the house. It's gonna look really bad. It's gonna look really bad. So when they look at me doing all those things, so.
No, everything went well that day, man. We got everything out.
It was fast. It was pretty good, yeah.
And the key to the whole project, your wife's happy.
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
There we go.
That's the thing,
That's all that matters.
Yep. The wife's happy.
Man,
job well done.
Yep.
I'm just reading this book. My couple therapist, referred to us. And man, the thing is, the whole thing, all this does is happiness in your relationship. It's more important than your career, more important than your financial condition. This is what everybody are saying, So, and I understand, because man, if the other part is not happy, it's complicated.
Hey man, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Right?
The other side's not happy eventually. Neither will you be.
Exactly. I mean, so the whole thing, so now we read a chapter, and then you go to the therapy and we discuss this chapter with the psychologist. So
very nice.
It's cool.
It is nice. It is nice, and so I can tell that it's a fact. So it's the same thing. It is.
That's cool, man.
Hilton, how you been doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. My wife and my kids are in Brazil right now, so I have the house for myself. On vacation from family.
Until when?
Until August.
Ooh.
2 months.
Holy crap!
I think there's some smoke in my throat.
There's a whole new meaning to boats and hoes right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 months, man. I'm telling you, the house after 1 week is still in a great shape.
It's only been 1 week.
Yeah.
He's like, it's
Give it
amazing
time.
how clean it is.
Give it time.
Just him by himself, so clean.
I cleaned it.
So clean.
And when I get home, the house is so clean. No dishes to do. Incredible.
Perfect.
Not a single speck of dust. I said I don't want to see a single speck of dust.
They're great dust.
It's
but
the
not a
best.
They're
single
the best,
dust.
but it's better without.
Didn't
Yeah,
even need a cleaner. The house is just nice.
He said 1 week. Let's see what that looks like the last week of July.
Oh, we'll get a cleaner in there.
Oh.
We'll get a maid in there real quick.
I'll report.
I got one for you. Call me when you're ready.
All right, for sure. No, we're gonna make a mess of it until we need to clean it, and that's gonna be right.
Are we still talking about cleanliness here?
Cleanliness?
Yeah,
no,
we're
we're talking
talking
about
Maid service.
yeah,
Okay.
more or
All
less.
right. I got it.
We're talking about
Cigar
the manly way
review.
of keeping a
Cigar
house
review.
clean.
Let's do a cigar review.
All right.
Sorry,
It's not
English
like
is
she
not my
watches
first
the
language.
podcast. So. That's one thing I never have to worry about. Neither of our wives will ever watch this podcast.
Oh, mine neither.
She just
Yeah.
not give two shits about what I do.
Mine neither.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Same with mine. Yeah.
But sometimes my family and her family watches, so I am respectful.
I said something to my wife one night about it, and before I could even finish talking, she's like, "You think I want to watch that?" I'm like, "Okay, done."
I gotta
I've
put up with
asked,
you
like,
talking. Why do I want to watch you
multiple
talk?
I would
times.
say, woman.
I hear you all the time. Get the hell out of my house.
I would say, woman, you're gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
You're gonna, yeah.
So yeah,
Not
I've
to,
heard your
not to
opinions
my
too many
wife, you
times.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, if you, of course, I'm.
If you wanted to have a jaw. All right.
So we are free forming today, so we have no subject.
Summer's upon us. I was gone. I heard there was a lot of rain in May, the middle of May.
Well, for Texas rain, there was a lot of rain.
For Texas.
For rain in general, not a lot of rain.
Not a lot of rain. Well, the lake is still down about 40 feet or so.
There were some good hailstorms around town.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had some rain.
I missed it, all of it.
You said you've been gone.
I was in Jamaica,
Where have you been? Jamaica, sir.
Aruba,
Montego Bay. Ooh, I wanna take it.
Mambia, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
It's gonna be like when was it Dagan? When Dagan was on, we tried to do karaoke.
Yeah.
And we have now determined these gentlemen cannot sing.
Yes.
Yeah. We try.
Yeah. It never stops me at a karaoke bar after a couple of whiskeys. Like, fuck it. I'm here to have fun. I don't care if it sounds good.
Oh, man.
What do you go to? You go to country music when you get that drunk? Yeah.
Yeah, it's real easy to sing country music drunk. You just.
I think when you were at my
You're
house
so
for
and turn them lights down low.
you sang that at my house. That
People loved it.
That was a hit. Yeah.
I love
Everybody
that.
loved
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was
Everybody
good.
loved it.
It was the best.
In China, they love it.
I'm really big in
In China, they don't know. Maybe I'll replace Che.
The Japanese, I'm going to put tariffs on karaoke to them, but they love my karaoke skills.
They want to bring karaoke to America.
They
No
love
tariffs.
50% tariff. They love it. They love it. I asked them. They love it.
I just talked to them. They love it.
They love it. They can't take anymore.
Does anybody have any plans this summer? I know you've obviously just got back from Jamaica. Do you have any more travel plans? Anything else that you got going on?
I'm going to Arizona in July, maybe late July.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing like a boys' weekend trip for my like bachelor's party. We're gonna Whitewater Rapid in the Grand Canyon, and fly fishing and golfing, cigars, whiskey, all that. We're gonna get an Airbnb down there and
That's awesome.
up there, I
Nice.
guess. So
I got some trips planned.
that's the only other thing I think I've planned this summer.
Where are you going, Paul? What do you got going on?
Well, it depends on the week, I guess. But let's
Where are
see
you not
here.
going?
Yeah.
That's the better question. Let's see here. Well, this coming weekend, I'm going to Fort Worth for my mother's, which is tomorrow, 84th birthday.
Congratulations to her. Happy birthday.
Yes. We have a annual, birthday party for her at my house or my two brothers' houses. They live in the Fort Worth area. And then mid-July is my niece's wedding.
Oh,
Congrats to her and her future husband.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And where's that at?
That'll be up in, where is that at? Flower Mound, Denton area, up that way, north of
Okay.
Fort Worth.
Yep.
Okay.
And then mid-August, my wife and I and another friend of ours, it'll be their 30th anniversary. My wife and I's 22nd anniversary.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
gonna be in Costa Rica for a week.
That'll be nice, man.
That'll be cool.
And if you want to find me, I will be on a boat or on a golf course.
There you go.
Cool.
Remember, it's football season.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Oh yeah, as soon as you get back. Well, I guess
Yeah,
you said
but-
July.
Middle of August, I'm going
August.
to Costa.
Yeah, as soon as you get back, it'll be football season.
Get back, it's football season.
Yeah, just in time to watch the Aggies lose.
You know what? We're going to win. We'll see how that goes.
You'll win
We'll
a
get-
couple.
We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah. New York minute.
Hey, like I say, every season we
It's
can
not
go.
even football season, and you guys are already on it.
Sir, it is football season in Texas about 10 months out of the year.
yeah,
Paul,
it's never.
I met a guy today. He just moved here just 3 months ago from Wisconsin. He's a diehard Packer fan.
I'm sorry.
And he says Dez did not catch it. And we had a whole back and forth. I know people that hate the Cowboys. Dez caught that fucking ball.
Well, he can move his ass back to Cheesehead Country. He
Get
Dez caught that ball.
Fuck out of here.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, and I know Dez caught that ball. Like
Dez
that is
caught
a
that ball.
ridiculous call.
Hey, you want to talk about sports for just a second?
By
I
all means.
haven't been here since this came up. Thank you for letting Pete Rose be able to
Retire.
get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I know
Amen
he
to that.
might have done some bad things. I think he paid his dues. That man is a hell of a baseball player and earns to be in the Hall of Fame. And if you don't agree with me, that's your own opinion.
That's your problem.
But I just think the man, as far as a baseball player, deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. So I'm glad they finally
That's
listened to the
kinda
man,
cool.
and there he is.
Because you had
Amen.
mentioned that on this podcast before, right? That he deserved it.
He deserved it,
And
man.
now he got it.
He got it. He's just a hell of a
People
player.
are listening this podcast.
People are listening to this
That's what I
podcast.
have
The
to
best
say.
podcast.
Yes.
They love it in
You
China.
see, just listen to Paul and look what happened.
I
I'll
know.
tell you. You think your wife, people are not listening to that? I don't know
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
naive. Maybe they are.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Guys
just want me to
got
think they're
to the
not
Hall of
listening.
Fame
Man,
because
I
of
fell
Paul.
for that trap. I have fallen for that trap. I gotta watch what I say. You just opened my eyes, man.
No, I mean that's everyone's got their own opinion, and I don't speak for everybody in the world, but I think Pete Rose was a hell of a baseball player.
Hell.
And he never even bet against his team. He bet other ways,
other teams, yeah.
And but that aside, his talent in the game of baseball, one of the best ever played the game.
But look, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I knew that.
But we can speak generally, right?
He had a butt.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that how hard it is to qualify what a player needs to do in his or her career in order to be in a Hall of Fame. It's pretty hard. Do you do that by position? Do you do that by greatness? Is it in what they do outside influence what they do inside of so many aspects? Leadership, clutchness. There's so many elements. It's hard to point out which is I think peak is always the most important thing. Longevity, okay. Winning, peak. I think that's the most important one.
How about the Knicks basketball coach fired after they hadn't been in the playoffs, right, for so long, and he got him all the way there, and they fired him? What's that about?
Will Smith is so A. Smith is so pissed because he's Knicks, right? He's so pissed. So yes.
So George, you're asking. I just pulled this up because I knew some of what it was, but to answer your question, Pete Rose has the most career hits, 42-56. Most games played, 35-62.
Still.
Most at bats, 14,053.
Still.
Most singles, 32-15.
Still.
He holds the record for the most seasons with 200 or more hits. To me, that's a hell of a baseball player.
Yeah.
Very much
pretty
so.
good, man.
Yeah.
Still.
And
Still.
Thank you for clarifying. Now I know.
So I'm just filling you in.
But the thing is, it was such a huge shock to have somebody gambling and get caught that they had to make an example of him.
This guy played in the 70s and 80s, and his records still stand.
Yes. Nobody's beating it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. 50 years later.
In the seasons, do they play the same amount of games in a season then, or is there more now?
There might be a dozen or so more, but it's not
They still haven't beaten it, though.
Right. It's
That's
not
impressive.
dramatically different.
But that adds up over a course of 10 seasons in a modern era versus the 70s.
It adds up.
So for him to still have that record is very impressive.
Very impressive.
All the bias, because new people will rely on the, this recency bias, and then the old guys would focus more on the golden age fallacy. It is hard to embrace the spirit of the time, so it's a disrespect to say that Russell, who had 11 rings, right? He was playing with plumbers. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's disrespectful. It's absolutely disrespectful. Don't mix the errors,
And don't get me wrong, George. It's not like I was a Pete Rose fan.
Die Hard or something, yeah.
I got it, yeah.
But I'm just simply saying he was one of the best that ever played the game.
That's just like the definition of game respects game.
Well, and that's it. Is he had to be made an example of, but he passed away 2 years ago now, 3 years ago.
2, 3, 4 years ago.
Okay, it's post-mortem.
And it is post-mortem that they were like, okay, now we can admit he was really great. But it was unfortunate that he was chastised for over 30 years of his life, where they were like, no, you are great, you are fantastic, but we're just going to hold you accountable for what you did. And it's one of those
extracurricular activity, nothing to do with on the fucking field.
And the point is like, it'd be different if you beat your kids, beat your wife, smuggling people. There's so many other offenses that someone can take, and then you could justify it. But if you're gambling, not even on your team, but just gambling on other teams because you like the competition, and you get caught doing it, it's like, okay, yeah, but for 30 years you're in trouble.
And to open up a whole nother bag of worms, he did every bit of it without zero performance-enhancing drugs.
Yes.
I think there's a big difference between betting, gambling, and then gambling on your own team and throwing games. You're putting money on the other team and purposefully throwing it. That's one thing. He wasn't doing that.
Once the trust is,
and he didn't either.
Exactly.
Once the trust is broke, man, it's hard to.
I got you.
I understand
just
the
talking about how
punishment.
it
I
happened,
understand
but-
that. Yeah. But I understand the punishment.
Conrad's still good?
Phenomenal.
I think every sport has kind of this kind of athlete, that if you think about football, soccer.
Cheers over here.
There's a lot of
Everybody
glad.
left me
For my
out.
birthday, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Parabéns
Pra
pra
você nesta data querida, muitas felicidades, muitos anos de vida.
50.
I was gonna bring it up later in the podcast.
When's your birthday?
Congratulations,
I'm sorry.
man.
Yeah, it's just
Hey, we
I
haven't
jumped in.
prepared any surprise for
Hey,
George.
when's your birthday?
Oh, man.
tomorrow.
That makes me feel
50.
Yeah, we haven't prepared anything. Freaking busy week.
Yeah, they're on boats with hose, so
Well, just today. And I'm telling you, we got like
Zero hose, lots of boats, zero hose, lots of men, sausage party on a boat.
Hey, Conrad, they run boats and hoes, and we didn't get invited.
yeah, really, yeah.
no, it
It's
wasn't.
not what you
Rose.
know, too, you know. You got to start networking in NIA.
I know you, sir.
But if you networked in NIA, you would have been directly invited. First of all, I didn't even get invited.
Hey, you weren't at the NIA I was at.
You weren't
Well,
the
the-
one I was at.
Well, there we go.
Hilton was invited, and then they came up to me and were like, "Hey, are you coming on the boat?" And I said, "What boat? What are you talking about?" Like, Hilton didn't invite you? I said,
Bring
no.
the boat. Let's go.
It's not my birthday
know.
party to invite.
He wanted to be gone all day on a boat, and he wanted me here working.
So, George, what are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing special, man.
It was for
Nothing
2
special.
weeks in Jamaica. Come on.
It's like, I earned one fucking boat day.
I earned that. You know what I mean?
He didn't expect me to be so charismatic. They invited me too.
Did you wear the cowboy hat on the boat?
I did.
That a boy.
Oh,
I sure did.
Yeah, George, what are you doing? Paul brought up a good question. What are you doing for your birthday?
nothing. Nothing
Why?
special. I never do anything for my birthday.
Well, let's
Why?
change that.
Huh?
Let's change that.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we can have a barbecue. Yeah.
You could
why
definitely
not?
do a
go.
barbecue, man.
There we go.
I'll take you to McDonald's. You can buy 2 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, we can do that.
Shit, I'll throw in a McRib.
A Happy Meal while we're at it. Get you a little toy.
Yeah, we have
Do they even give toys anymore?
They
I don't know.
If it
Not
is
in this
the,
economy.
if it is the,
I'll talk to Tamiris. Maybe we can
Couldn't
have
tell you
some
last time I've
barbecue
been to
on the weekend.
McDonald's. I wouldn't know.
I never go.
my house is free, you know,
Oh, that's true.
And vacant.
and bacon.
Okay.
Well then.
You know, I would have fun if I go by myself, but you know what would be funner?
Mm.
Having Tamiris there.
Yeah.
Because she would definitely be just another one of us.
Well, I'll bring Sam.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
We'll
not?
talk about the Mormon girls or whatever.
Oh, real true. I know what you-
I'll have to go back and look at what your question was. She finally ended up watching the second season, and she answered your question.
Did she?
Yeah,
You're
she was
turning
like,
50. You're finally old.
Yeah, man. I don't feel that. I don't feel like 40.
Is it
Just me.
officially?
Because in about 5 hours, you won't be.
Yeah, but I'm saying I feel like
50's the new
39,
35.
not 49, 50.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
I don't feel 50.
Yeah.
Well, 50's the new 35. Like 50 nowadays, you still got a lot of fucking energy, you know?
Yep,
Compared
I
to
sure do.
like when your parents turned 50, you know?
And that's coming from a 35-year-old.
Yeah, I wish.
Hey, how old are you?
35.
There you go.
Whatever you say, 7 maybe.
What's your social while we're at it?
You made that joke
David
earlier.
Bird.
I'm 28, Paul.
I know you weren't 35, dumbass.
Yeah, well, I'm not even 30. You old fucks.
Hey, it's called knowledge. We have a lot of it.
Conrad is 35.
No, I'm 36. hey. I'm 36, guys.
There's a difference.
Oh, shit. And then you're the old man or what?
No, he's
I'm 48.
8. Yeah.
Well, fuck me. I'm the old
You're
man.
the old man.
You're the old man.
It's just for a
Damn.
bit.
I'm going to feel old when I turn 30, but I can't talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not old.
You're
You're
gonna
not
find
old till you feel old. You could be 70. If you don't feel old, man, I think we all feel like we're still
Amen
in
to that.
elementary school sometimes.
Well, as my wife puts it, you're only as old as you act and you feel. And I said, well, what if you take those two and divide it by two? You know, because I act 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
feel
act 14 like I was in 5th grade or
100 divided
something.
by 2, there's 50.
There you go.
You're right on par.
Right on par.
Some of my pains are not from
Yeah,
from my 20s, you know. But except from that, man,
I'll tell you.
more confident. You're calmer, you know.
You
so
drink more.
many other things are so much
you
better.
probably do drink more. If I was 28,
You drink more, you wouldn't have any pain.
Yeah, well, I had my part.
You'd have to
I
drink
drink
some
enough.
Oh, let's
For
go back
life.
to that. Let's go back to that. 1 to 8. What was it? Pints of
Pints.
beer. Okay, was this
Yeah.
within like
I
a
was
30?
Paul, have
No,
you ever heard the story of how much this guy used to drink?
I'm about to, I think.
Well, I live like 4 blocks from my job, and then there were like 4 blocks, 6 or 7 breweries in my way walking. So I knew all the owners. They always say, "Hey George, this is new tap here. Just check this sour beer. You get this porter. Oh, I've got this porter with Jack Daniels, in a barrel for like 2 years. You want to try?" And I wasn't spending any money. I was just getting beer every single day, like 5,
Well, you
6
didn't say that. If it's
And
free
then-
beer, then let's go.
Yeah, and then I kept doing that for a while, and then I realized, like I had enough for this life, because man, I was bloated, because you're drinking it 4 or 5 times, and then you realize it. I would get sick before I get drunk, with the taste of beer,
Yeah.
especially this kind of beer, like house beer, Saison, and
Yeah, they-
It's
porter.
like really acidic.
Yeah, and I know my beer. I know what I liked it. So because I know this guy is doing like artisanal beer. So it gets to a point that I said, you know what, 8 is enough.
8's enough.
8 is enough.
I think that was a TV show, wasn't it?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, you're young. You wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know, so I'm young. Also.
You are young.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So young, maybe I'd start putting on 100 SPF, not burning.
I'm
when
telling
I
you.
go out of the water,
I got to the boat
Still
today.
young.
We stopped at HEB and I bought a 100 factor thing.
A sunscreen 100?
but
Really?
yeah, 100
And-
SPF.
And look, I have no,
You're still white.
no burn at all. And look at Dylan.
You're still white.
Yeah.
But it's not like I put on 30. I just didn't put on anything. Sorry, Paul.
Okay, I got another foot.
It's a light love tap, okay?
That's what I was trying to figure out if you wore that cowboy hat at the lake, because your head
Yeah.
is about as red as a ladybug right now.
I did, but then when I was getting in the water, we were like jumping off the second story and going down slides and stuff, so I took it off just because
Gotcha.
I didn't feel like getting it all wet.
You don't want to get the hat wet. Straw hat and water do not mix.
Yeah, so I just
I mean, they can, but
put
it's
my
not going to be the
phone
same.
in it and left it. So, and then I mean, to be honest, it was raining this morning. It was real cloudy, and then all of a sudden the sun came out, and I knew
What lake were y'all on?
Travis. We went out to Hudson Bend and we went down to Devil's Cove.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Had a guy flying a drone, taking some cool aerial shots, and
We were
then
just on Lake Austin here a couple weeks ago.
it's nice.
Do you have a boat, Paul?
We have a company boat.
Oh, cool.
We're thinking about a company
There
boat.
we go.
We are thinking about a company boat.
I have been thinking about a company boat since I moved in here. I was supposed to live in Miami, so like I'm buying a boat. And then I moved over here, and it's like, and then we went to the lakes. Like I'm buying a boat.
I think even if we just
We
got
just
like
need to sell a little bit more, and then we're buying a freaking boat.
we just get like a company
You have the truck for it.
pontoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It's a pontoon boat. It's
And then
nothing
we
fancy.
we could take it out to enjoy it ourselves, but also then we can do things and take clients out.
Well, we take employees out on it and a little barbecue on it. And cook out
Honestly,
on
the
boat.
company should buy that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
It's
we're
fun.
thinking.
Legal
It's,
entity.
employee appreciation
Yes.
weekends and things like that, and then also you get the right client that wants to. Maybe they're moving here and they want to see what's.
Depreciation.
You bring them out on the boat, you know.
You
Yes.
can write off depreciation.
Absolutely.
And you can make it, probably.
Yeah, so
use it
like,
as a-
it was new for me, being I did this merger we talked about here, 3 or 4 months ago. But at Live Oak, Manny, my partner, something he's done for 7 years now, 8 years, is the Friday before Memorial Day. So here, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
we shut the company down for the day. We go out to the lake. We take the boat. We cook out, and appreciation day for all the employees. They're still getting paid while they're out there having fun. They're on the payroll. Cook for them, have drinks, play volleyball, went in the water, went to the lake, and just had a good day. And it's a great thing to do. I guess the downside to it is it's kind of a, hey, thank y'all for all the work we've been doing. About to get hot, boys. Let's go.
Get back to it, yeah.
And it is. It's the heat's coming.
It's a small token of appreciation, but it goes a long way, I think.
It goes a long way, and I mean, y'all are in the industry as well as I am, and we couldn't do what we do without those guys.
Wouldn't have a business.
There's no way around it.
Yep.
My hat's off to every single guy that's ever worked for me.
I feel the same way, truly.
Yep, without a doubt. So you got to take care of them, and it's basically called, they look at it as employee appreciation. We look at it as employee retention.
Yeah, right. Keep them around.
Got to keep them around. Got to keep them around. So,
yeah, those two things go hand in hand, man.
It does.
You appreciate the people around you; they don't want to leave.
Yep.
Without our guys, nothing really happens. To be honest with you, for example, we have a customer that only buys materials with us, and then he has his own crew to do installs and whatnot, and they don't do any prep to install the floors. And so they're sending us pictures. Hey, this floor is a little bowy, and it's like, no, it's just, this is normal. This is all right. So I went, no, you can install. It's fine. So the customer is freaking out. Their customer is freaking out. No, this floor is going to be a problem. So we send our guys out there. They talk to the customer. We didn't talk to the customer on the phone as well. And then she was like, okay. All right, I feel more confident now if you guys install. So, and then we installed the floor, for this general contractor that is a customer of ours. So next day he was like, man, you saved me, because we are about to get fired from that job. So without our guys, they're good. You gotta keep them. So I have been trying to throw like a barbecue party here at the warehouse for them since January.
Now, let me ask you, I don't know.
But they're like, no, we're working this weekend. It's like, man, just stop and let's come, and
Now, I don't think I've ever asked y'all this, but as a company, do y'all have more business selling to other installers, or do y'all do more business in-house with your own installers?
More with our own installers, but like the one he's talking about is like, it's basically a general contractor essentially, but he does renovation, but we just sell him the material and he's got his own guys. So like once I make the sale, really and truly I'm out of it. It has nothing to do with me anymore. But she had my number from when I went and measured and asked for my card, so she called me direct, like freaking out.
Well, the reason I asked that is we've had some people come up to me and Manny in the years past and kind of like, hey man, I know y'all are a landscape company, but can we buy stone from y'all and do it ourselves? And I was like, no, that's not what we do. We don't. You want that, you need to go to a stone supply house or something like that.
Yep.
And so we're not a supply house.
No, we're not either.
And so I was just kind of curious to where y'all's business is. I know y'all install. It's not that I didn't know that.
Yeah, we are either full turnkey.
But you also sell to other contractors that can buy your material and go install it themselves.
Yeah, we have partnerships with contractors that they send the customers here. So they select the floor. So we don't touch the install. When they ask about the installs, like, well, install is with your contractor. You know what I mean? We don't try to take the business out because they are our
install it yourself.
Yeah, and to add some more context to the answer there, it's like with this scenario, like we sell to this company and they have their own guys installing it, right? If those guys came to us like, hey, I have this job I'm working on, could you sell me material? I would sell material, but they're not getting any better rate on it than anyone that just walked in here.
Right.
They're going to get the same deal everyone else is going to get. So if they can buy it, mark it up, and install it, good on them. I don't care. Most installers don't have that tenacity. They don't have that drive. They work for somebody. That guy gives them business. They don't.
Right.
Not that the guys out there that don't exist, they do, but we don't run into it a lot, really.
Right. No.
At least with flooring, we don't.
Nope.
And what is your cash cow?
Cash cow?
No, nothing.
A builder that builds 14, 15 houses a year, so there's something every single month, and I'd love 15 of those because we've got multiple crews that could handle that amount of work, and then we would struggle to find openings for residential, which would be a great problem to have, and then I would just bring in more guys, you know. But,
well, and I'm pushing on my company right now. We're trying to get in with custom home builders.
Okay.
And so
let me connect you with my uncle. Harrington Custom Homes.
Let me get my feet wet with some of these custom home builders.
Yep.
And maybe I can get y'all in the door as their flooring installer.
Sure.
You know, I don't know who they are, but let's see. Like there's just one I'm working with right now that's out of Liberty Hill, and they're a newer company. They've been in business about 4 years, and they're in Liberty Hill for about the last 3 months. And so I was talking to him the other day, and it's Cannon Custom Homes, and they're looking for contractors to help them build their houses. So let me find out what the details are on contractors and go from there.
That'd be great. I have a couple offhand I know I could connect you with, shoot your info, and then talk to them and have them reach out. But Mint Builders I do a lot of business with, and I have a pretty decent relationship with the owner of the company, Richard, and he's very open-minded to solutions and stuff. I don't know how much landscaping they quote out or not, but I think that'd be a good connection for you.
Right.
And the other guy is my uncle Mike, Harrington Custom Homes. I'll connect you with him as well.
I appreciate that.
And that's just going to come down to, they used to do a lot of custom home, like new construction. Nowadays they're doing like remodeling, renovation. So, but if the right job comes around and they're wanting to do a bunch of stuff in the backyard, you're going to be the right guy for them.
Once in a blue moon, they might have a need for me.
No, I just they're doing like $200,000 remodels every week.
Yeah, imagine when they have to do a house expansion, there is going to be landscaping necessary because they are like expanding into, and then the landscaping is going to change.
So I don't think it'd be once in a blue moon. I don't think it'd be every single job, but it wouldn't be once in a blue moon. I think it'd be pretty frequently. They're going to need numbers on outdoor landscaping, and you could definitely be the guy to provide that for them. So I'll connect you.
I appreciate that.
I'll connect you.
Yeah, sometimes even for flooring, it's not every job because they're doing kitchen remodels or just bathroom remodels, and then they may get a couple of 100 feet of tile, but that's it.
If you're coming to our networking event at the end of the month, I'm gonna have my cousin from Harrington Custom Homes. He's gonna come as well, so I'll connect you two.
Yep, yeah, and I'm gonna try and get Manny to show up to that with me as well. But regardless, I'll be here for sure.
Yeah, you'll make a lot of good connections. So
appreciate it. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah, what were we talking about before?
I don't know.
We've been all over the board, my brother.
We were talking about sports on that
episode
guy.
And we sang him happy birthday, and then
happy
from there
birthday.
I can't remember how we got here. But
boats and hoes. That's how we got here. Boats and hoes.
The infamous boats and hoes. Shit.
I will say, Paul, this weekend. So my son made the All-Star team for Round Rock. So
congratulations.
Baseball.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this last weekend we made it to the Express game. We got free tickets and we got to walk the field pregame. So he was able to wear his uniform and kind of walk out there with some of his teammates. Third base and
What's this?
It's a lighter if you want to relight your cigar.
And at the end,
I'm good.
And at the end of the season, they started him pitching.
Oh,
And yesterday in practice was probably the first time that he pitched consecutively for about like 20 or 30 pitches.
What's he normally play?
Just third base.
Third base.
Okay.
Third
How
base.
does arm feel?
Dude, he slept. I mean, he's always been my rise early kid. He took a nap before practice. Played his ass off yesterday in practice, and then he stayed the night at my mom and dad, so grandma and grandpa's house. I guess they were like, he didn't stop eating. He fell asleep at 11, and then he normally is up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just like, yep, I'm awake. I want to go do something. But I guess my mom walked in and was like, you need to wake up. It's already 8:30. And he was like, whoa, what the hell? So he was exhausted, but he has got it was honestly one of those first times. His first couple of pitches, he was a little nervous. But then he was like, he got into his groove, and he's got a hell of a sinker. And I was watching it. I'm like, what the? Like, he kept throwing into the dirt, but all of these kids kept swinging at his pitch. And I'm like, what the hell? Are they just bad hitters?
Fucking working.
But I was watching it, and what it is he throws, and it has a dead stop where that ball will go and then just dive.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's not throwing hard. And some pitches he was straight on the money, straight to the catcher's mitt. But other than that, he just has this this dead ball that he can do. I don't know how the hell he does it.
But keep doing it.
And that's what I told him. I was like, whatever you're doing, do not change it. Just keep doing, because literally only 2 kids hit off of him. And it was just like pop-ups, and everyone caught it for an out. But he made the all-star team. And tomorrow they have a scrimmage against one of the other teams here at Round Rock. And then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, he has 3 games. 1 game on Saturday in Leander, and then 2 games on Sunday.
Is he a lefty or a righty?
He's a righty.
Okay.
He's a righty. But no, he's doing really well. So it was funny because we went into the backyard and we're pitching, just playing catch for a little bit. And I could just tell, like, I was like, what's going on? He goes, you know what, Dad? I'm just kind of tired of baseball right now. And I said, you know what? Just finish strong for this all-star season, and then we'll, reassess for fall ball. But then after this last practice, man, he was like rejuvenated. He's like, man, I love baseball. I can't wait for Thursday practice. I can't wait for the games this weekend. So, it's nothing like I'm pushing him, but at the same time, he's
Enjoying
excited.
himself.
You're
He's
letting him
excited.
figure it out.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And he's a hell of a third baseman. I mean, nothing gets past him on third base. He's a hell of a third baseman. And it was just recently that they started like, you know what? Let's put him in. He's the tallest on his team, and he's also the youngest. It's a 10 under league, but they've got some 10 and 11-year-olds, and he's only 9. So he's a big kid, and but yeah, he loves baseball, man.
And the discipline of sports for him. The worst
Yes.
case scenario is just a discipline that sports bring,
Yeah.
and something you enjoy too. So kind of create a strong bond between you guys.
Well, it's funny because, like I was saying the other day, like, I'm not a baseball fan. Like, I've enjoyed baseball, but I'm not like die hard into it. Like Paul loves baseball. I mean, he grew up in it. I know other dads they're like, oh, baseball's been my favorite sport, and that's all I eat, breathe, and sleep. But that's not me. I've been into basketball. I've been into football, but I mean, I was looking at pictures. My phone will randomly show old pictures. It's like 2-3 years old. He's got a bat in one hand and a ball in the other, like throwing and hitting. So he's just naturally just gravitated to that sport.
But your dad also likes it a lot.
He does, but it's, again, not one of his favorite sports. It's one of those things like he played like a softball league. My dad for a couple of years, and it was like a co-ed softball league. And my dad's always been athletic and played all sports. Football was one of his favorites. Basketball was one of his favorites. And he's like, yeah, I'll play baseball too. It's like none of these sports are like our favorite, but for him, it's like, now that's my jam. Like, I love baseball. He likes other sports too, basketball and football, but he's just naturally good at baseball. So
I'd lean into that now, and then by the time you make it to high school, that's when he's gonna have to potentially pick what's the most important to him. That being said, when I was in high school, there were plenty of guys that played football, and then they played basketball during the basketball season, and they tried to get in baseball. It's hard to excel in any one sport when you're playing them all, unless you're a freak athlete. So I would say if baseball's a thing that he like really enjoys, that's his passion, then just rock with that.
Well, and that's it. Is exactly. It's like, just do the other sports, but baseball is your main sport.
Yep.
Enjoy the other ones, play it. I mean, he's played lacrosse,
Lacrosse is fun.
I never even heard about that until I was in my 20s. I'm like, what the hell kind of sport is this? You got sticks and you're throwing a ball around? It's cool, don't get me wrong. And, of course, we can't beat the fact that I live literally right across the street from Old Settlers Park, which is sports capital of Texas.
Yeah, it is.
Every single sport you can think of, they have. And with the construction that they're doing, they're just expanding pickleball courts. I love pickleball, by the way. I got a pickleball set for Father's Day. an early present, and I'm just like, dude, this pickleball is so much fun. I have
know,
a blast.
Yeah, I have a set as well. The girls love it.
It's so much fun, isn't
It's
it?
easy to play.
Yes.
You know, one of the reasons all this team sports, collective sports, are losing popularity is because you see NBA players, and then you see NFL players doing things that none of them can do it.
Right.
You know, and it's so slow when you compare, and then you get a sport that, you know, is slow is not bad.
Right.
Every single from 5, let's say from 5 to 85, people play it.
Yeah.
You want to hear something interesting? It is so popular worldwide that at our resort in Jamaica, every morning, every single court was full of people playing pickleball.
Do you know where the capital of
Incredible,
pickleball
isn't
is?
it? It just became
Austin.
like a thing.
Austin, Texas is the
Pickleball
Capital.
capital. of the world? Wow.
So I was talking
didn't
to my
know that.
dad. Has anybody looked into the history of pickleball?
No.
It started up in Seattle, and of course,
Oh, interesting.
talking with my dad, he played pickleball back in the 70s.
What?
It was there was a couple of gyms. Obviously, he was doing his bodybuilding, but as a form of like exercise. He's like, I always loved doing cardio.
I warm up.
You know, he talked about it on the podcast when he was here. He's like, I always liked doing cardio outside of cardio machines, but he was like,
Yeah.
I played pickleball. And he was like, and there was only 1 or 2 gyms in the whole state of Washington that had pickleball courts, and it was just like a local Seattle thing.
Just happened to be there.
And my dad's like, I just really, really, really enjoyed pickleball. It was kind of cool. But yeah, Paul, he's doing really well in baseball.
No,
so.
man, I'm happy to hear that, and
Yeah.
you know, I love the fact that he plays third base. That was my position.
Yeah, it's a hell of a
And,
position.
I loved it. You got to be a baller to play there.
You have to be a baller to play there.
I'm not promoting myself. I'm way old and I don't play anymore. But
Can you explain by
just-
analogy?
Turn the mic just to be like a little bit more. Yeah, that way. That's good.
What would be
I'm
analogous?
not trying to be heard.
What would be analogous of a third base in other sports? Just to understand, just for me to understand. I know it's hard to compare, but you know,
Every base is important in baseball.
Every base is important, but George, to give you I guess an analogy of a third baseman. Let's go to football because I'm not real familiar with basketball or soccer.
Mhm.
I would say third base is probably equivalent to a tight end on defense or a defensive end on defense.
Yeah.
You're containing the runners. You're containing the quarterback. Third base is kind of the brick of a lot of balls. More batters in baseball are right-handed than left-handed.
Right.
So a lot of your balls come down that third base line, and you've got to be able to stop that ball, catch that ball, at least knock it down, and keep it from going to the outfield.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very important thing. And then once you have the ball, you have the longest throw of an infielder across the whole infield to get to first base.
You know, and I've said this before, but you know, we'll practice, you know, drills where I will, or even my daughter will throw him a grounder from third, and he'll throw from third to first, and I'll play first baseman. And I struggle throwing it that far. Like it is, and I've got a decent arm, but it is a distance.
It's a rocket.
It is a hell of a distance, and you have to get it there quickly
And on point.
and on point and accurately. Exactly. So it is it's one of the most important positions on the infield. I'm going to say one of, not
they're all important.
They're all important, but I think it's one of. I'd say third base is more important than second base, just because you have to have that arm strength and
Instead of important, maybe difficult. Like playing third base might be a little more difficult.
I would say the difficult places on the baseball field as far as infield is third base, first base, shortstop, second base.
In order.
Yep. Third, first, short, and second. And that's no disrespect because they're all hard positions.
They're all hard. Infield is hard.
But the reason I say first base is second is because first baseman, he's relying on you to throw that ball on point to his glove.
Yeah.
And if you don't, he's got to reach out and try and get it. while keeping his foot on that bag to get the
Yep.
runner out.
Yeah,
Usually
because
first baseman a little more flexible, longer reach.
Yeah, there's a big reason I didn't play first base.
Yeah.
Not was I right-handed, not left-handed. I wasn't flexible.
Yeah. Well, and the team he plays with during the regular season, his first baseman he's 10 years old, but he's already about 5'6", 5'7", so he's a big kid already.
That's a big 10-year-old.
His dad is like 6'8", so who's a giant of a man. So they were
Makes
like,
sense.
"Yeah, you're gonna go to first base." So it'd be a lot easier for. It made Lucas's job so easy when he had to throw from third to first because
The
I mean
giant.
that guy's
See, that's
just,
why I played third base, because I was a big kid, and they were like, well, you'll stop the ball.
yeah.
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 Nothing else, you're dumb enough to get in front of it and stuff. And I was.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I might have lost a few teeth and busted on the chin a few times, but hey,
Talking to the game.
that's called a
Yeah.
teammate right there, baby.
But it's fun. It's really
That is
good.
cool, man. Well,
so-
congrats to him, man, for making the All-Star team.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
hey,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Back to the kid. Congrats, man.
Yeah. No, he's.
That's an honor, and hope he does well.
Thank you. Yeah. So he's got his first game this weekend for the All Stars. Tomorrow is a scrimmage against one of the other teams, the local teams here in Round Rock. So
And
So I don't keep up with Little League Baseball anymore. I used to coach it and everything. So if All-Stars, if they win it, does that put them somewhere else, or is it just you win the All-Stars and you're done off to another tournament?
you're just done for
Okay.
because so it's all of Central Tech. So they call it Centex.
Syntax.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Centex All Stars. So he plays Leander Saturday, Sunday. I think we go over to Hutto the following week, and then somewhere else, Lakeview or somewhere else. And then the main end of season tournament at the end of June is here in Round Rock.
do they have like larger organizations, for example, a regional competition that he could join, Texas or the south of Texas?
Yes. So and of course this is his second season. He started fall ball, and this is his first spring ball because they host it 2 times a year. And spring ball is more competitive. There's a lot more. There's opening and closing ceremonies. There's a lot more teams, a lot more kids. It's far more competitive. Fall ball is a little. It's for them to tune up their skills, basically.
Mhm.
You looked into select ball at all?
So all of his. So the team. The coach of his current team. Apparently they were in the Pflugerville League, and they won it 3 years in a row.
Watchers.
Went undefeated. They're like, well, let's graduate to Round Rock. Let's all go to Round Rock and see how we do there. They went undefeated, so they're like, all right, we're going to go to select ball, which is you're going to be traveling all of Texas to do.
Yeah.
So it's a very big commitment to do. One of the kids from Lucas's team from last year went select and did select ball. He had mixed feelings about it, but yeah, the competition is a lot higher in those type of leagues.
What do you think? How do you feel about this level of competition, such a young age? Because many coaches from different sports in different countries, like they manage this differently. And I know that in the Netherlands and Spain, they won't compete until they are 12 because they are more concerned about the fun and learning the skills, and they avoid confrontation before 12, like strong competition before 12. That's what those countries those are the countries I know: Brazil, Spain, and the Netherlands. And how do you feel about this level of competition at such a young age because of the study, this school and everything else?
So I think it's okay. I think the hardest part is on the parents' perspective, and for me, of course, military groomed me. I don't want to say I'm a hard parent, but I'm like a hard perfectionist. So it's like if I see things that he's doing, I'm constantly coaching and coaching and coaching. So I'm sure he's like, coach me when I'm at home, not on the field. I want someone else to tell me what to do, and I respect that. But I think a lot of it has to do with coaching off the field.
Okay.
And the environment off the field. And a lot of the guys and a lot of the other parents that I've seen, they're constantly practicing. Just like I am, but there's a mixture that you have to do of understanding that they're 9, 10 years old and to make it fun. Which my son has fun. We're constantly like, hey, let's go out here and just like throw the ball for a little bit and let's go hit. I want to see how far you can hit it. Like you make a game out of it.
Gamify it.
I think
You gamify it.
Yes.
that shows why all the normally, the Americans are really like the top athletes in the world because they start like the age of 5.
Well, you also got to worry about the burnout.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is I come from personal experience. Like I said, I used to coach a little bit. I don't anymore. But I'm digging even into close friends and family. I mentioned earlier, my niece is getting married here next month.
You talked about your niece,
Yeah,
the
wasn't that
game,
that-
the burnout. I remember that.
My niece played softball from second grade all the way through high school, and she was very good at her game. Very, very good.
I remember, yeah.
She had A&M and Arkansas and Oklahoma and all that looking at her to come to college to play softball. And when she went to college, she said, "I'm done. I want to participate in my education."
Yeah.
And so you wonder how much of that is just a burnout versus maybe she grew older and realized, hey, maybe softball's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to get an education and go. But now let's flip over to baseball. My wife's college roommate, she's got 2 boys. One of them's a freshman in college now, and one of them's a senior in high school. They played baseball since they were 6 years old.
Yeah.
Both of them just gave it up.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, they played baseball 11 months out of the year. They traveled. They were on all these select teams. I built their batting cage in their backyard 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dedicated. I mean, you build a batting cage in your backyard, you're a dedicated baseball player.
Yeah.
And here they are, and one's a senior, and he's like, "Man, when I graduate, I'm done." And the other one's already a freshman in college. Just saw him at Easter, and I was like, "Hey, man, I hadn't seen him in probably 6 months." I was like, "Hey, how's it going? You playing ball? How's that going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm done with ball. I'm just in college." I was kind of blown away. I was like, "Dude, you were an awesome all-star, badass baseball player." And so I just talked to him. I'm like, "Did you get burned out? Did you just not like it?" And he's like, "No, man, I love baseball. I still love baseball. I still love going to watch it, and my buddies play it and everything else. But it's just so demanding on me that I'm done."
Yeah.
He wouldn't say he was burned out, but
But
basically
that
he was
is
burned
what
out.
that is what it is. But now
done.
that is what it's like.
He was done.
I like it, but I don't want to do it.
And that's why when he
And
said,
so with that being said, I'm not knocking your son playing, but I don't have any kids, so I can't go off of my experience from it. But it's kind of like, what's the fine line on enjoying baseball, playing baseball, and having fun playing baseball, excuse me, but not getting burned out to where if they are a good enough athlete, they can proceed into college.
and that's a great question because I spent all last night thinking about what he said, because it was kind of like pushing. Hey, you love baseball? Yeah. Let's do it. And then when he said yesterday, he was like, I'm just kind of tired.
And
Like,
he's 10.
And he's 10.
So
yeah.
where is he at when he's 18?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, so I told him, I told him yesterday, I was like, so maybe we'll think about, not doing fall ball.
To be honest, let's talk about myself, right? So I swimmed from the age of 7 to about 17, 18.
I thought you were going to say you swam from Brazil to here, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much. If you put the distance, I might have done that distance. Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
And I was a good swimmer. I held the record for a little while in the state north of Brazil. And when I said, like, I don't want to swim anymore, and my coach was like, why? You're good. I need you in my team because we win medals when you're in my team and whatnot. Not only me, there were like other people, of course.
Right.
But it wasn't my thing. I don't think burnout wasn't a known word at the time. I just like, nah, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to compete in swimming anymore.
Well, I look back at it like when I played, and it's like, okay, you played baseball, and then when baseball was over, it was summertime, and then came football, and in between all that was track. You did different sports. These kids now, man, it is baseball. They don't play football, basketball, or track. They run baseball. And yeah, don't get me wrong. You're going from the high school to the college level, and from the college level to the pro level. It's a real slim line of talent.
Yes.
You got to be really, 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 really good to get into the pros. I mean, we got a good friend of ours that played high school ball, did all the select stuff, went to Dallas Baptist, great pitcher. Yeah. Draft pick, I think, in the 3rd round to the Phillies. Lasted a year, and they cut him.
The air is really thin up there.
It's really thin.
It's really thin.
The exact same story happened to my buddy's dad. He
So
went to DBU.
So my question is, and I'm trying to figure it out, not that I'm a coach or any of that, but what can we do to get these kids to not get burned out, to enjoy the game and want to play longer than high school years and make a career out of it?
Look,
but
there's
no
clear-cut answer.
But I think they're being pushed and everything to be better, so you can get into the pros.
Right.
No, I actually was looking to you to answer that.
Yeah, the thing is, I deal with that every single day because all my clients are student athletes. They play tennis since they are 5, and the hardest year is always the senior year. Because this guy, I have 2 players now. I have 2 of my students that are in South Africa because they need to get points for an international ranking. Right, so it's much easier to get more points to the national and different kinds of rankings, right? And I can tell you, 25% of the athletes, after the family invested 5,000 hours, $500,000, and they quit. They can't, they're gonna see. Look at that.
Can't keep up with the demand.
Man, those kids, they've been playing since they are 5.
Yeah.
Right? They're competing since they are 10. And then they go to Bolivia. Man, these kids are rich kids, Basically, they go to Bolivia, Peru, Argentina, now South Africa. They come to the West, to the south of Europe, just to get points, It gets to a point that the discipline of this kids must have, like physiotherapy, workout, and then play tennis, and then deal with the puberty. Then you
don't have time to have fun.
Everything is a distraction.
Yeah, but you have a lot of friends that want to go have fun, so then you start getting pulled in that direction.
And then the worst, right? So they are getting boyfriends and girlfriends, and then they have to come to the United States. I always ask one of my
someone pregnant.
While we were talking here, I sent a message to one student who got a burnout. He cracked in one of the classes, like
No more of that.
turned off crying because there's so much pressure going on,
Yeah.
So which university I will go? Should I be a pro, or should I skip college and be a pro, or should I go to college and spend 4 years in the U.S. not playing the main league?
So, and I think to answer your question at this young of an age, Paul, for me, if he makes All-Stars, phenomenal. If he doesn't, there's no pressure.
No, I mean, at 10 years old, man, enjoy the game, play the game, and do the best you can, and be appreciative for how well you play and your teammates, and enjoy every minute of it.
Right.
But somewhere, I think, at 10 years old, in the next 3 to 4, it's going to turn into, I'm still having fun, but now I got to play better so I can get into college.
And see, and I think that's and honestly, that's where parenting at home structure is very important.
100%.
Because, and it's something that I'm dealing with because I keep pressuring, like, you can be better, you can do this, and I think it is burning him out already at a young age. But I know he has the love for the sport, so I have to like push, be like, dude, you did phenomenal. Let's work on getting a little bit better, but let's have fun. You got to keep it light and fun for them so that they still just see it as a game.
And while doing all that, as a parent, you've got to keep them on the education side.
Yes.
Because if and when that sport doesn't pan out as a career, you still have a career to go on.
Yes.
And that doesn't say because they quit playing baseball or they get burned out or whatever that they can't still be in the sport. They could be a coach, they could be a trainer, they could be in the offices, they could be management, stuff like that.
And,
right.
this is a great thing about American schools, right? More than the others, is because these kids, like yes, every time an athlete graduates and decides not going pro or not going that, they do a ceremony, a farewell ceremony to say, hey, they all do that because it's hard to. Some people will see us failing. Some people will see us failing. Like one of the girls here yesterday was her farewell, and she was second in Brazil in the ranking in Brazil. She came to college here and she nailed it, but she got burned out. She had to go to Brazil. She had a connection to the American University, but she was in Brazil because she couldn't stand it. She couldn't spend time here, missing family, missing friends, and all.
Hard.
And then father, hey, if you get here, I got you a job, and then she was seduced by this.
I think in the long run, what I'm trying to set up for my son is, one, Paul, like you were saying, kind of an education and the possibility of getting into like a university or a college that, hey, I mean, this is paid for if you play, obviously no pressure, but at the same time, I'm looking at it as like connections.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
played with all of these different individuals that you grew up with. Who's to say their career path or their path in life didn't do the same thing? They burned out, and now they're a CEO executive of some company, and you hit them up and be like, hey, remember we played 15 years during
Strongest
baseball?
bond possible.
Exactly. Dude, I remember you. I need you on my team because I know I can trust you.
Yep.
You had my back on the field. I got, So that's what I love about organized sports from the holistic, big picture aspect of it, is that he's building friendships, he's building memories, and he's building those type of connections.
And they're going, and that's key in everything.
It is key in everything. And I mean, I'm talking to small business owners right here, and obviously I work in corporate, but it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where if you grow up with somebody and then you reconnect 10, 15, 20 years later and be like, dude, we used to play together. Remember that? Shit, yeah, I need you on my team, or vice versa. They're a CEO and they're like, I remember you. Come on. I need
For
some
some reason, what you're talking about brings up something the other week. I don't know, the wife and I were at the house watching something on TV, and we caught the end of, and I don't remember the name of the movie. Y'all probably all seen it or whatever, but it was the movie of the '84 U.S. hockey team.
Miracle.
Miracle.
Kurt Russell.
Correct.
Miracle
Okay.
on Ice.
So, have y'all ever watched the end of that movie?
No.
So
I
the-
haven't. I know of it.
So the end of that movie actually shows pictures and bios of all the actual players
Mm-hmm.
of where they are now. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And I remember it vividly. I don't remember the jobs, but not a single one of them has anything to do with sporting.
Yeah.
But they were all like own dealerships, an attorney, owns 14 businesses, owns 16
Networking
restaurants.
connections. Yeah.
But at the end of the show, it said every single player from that team meets twice a year and still has a communication party
Bonds.
to connect with everybody that used to play. So it's networking
Yeah.
within their team. So like
Yeah.
you just said, it's a network, and you might not play the game again, but that's a family.
Yes.
It's a
100%.
family. It's a family. No matter what you do, you're a family.
Yeah. 100%.
And it just goes to show. I mean, it's you just stay in touch, man.
Community. That's the thing. It's about
Community.
community. You can tell that one of the main reasons. Do you have to stop? Oh, one
No.
of the main reasons, right? And
I hated it.
it did.
Because he smoked a lot.
Well,
Anyway.
I think we should get.
this is
to
a
the
good
review,
note. I think just we need to wrap up the podcast.
Okay.
Sports and music is very important to the life of
Art.
any children.
Art.
The development of the brain and the ethics, it's really, really important. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We need to have this conversation again.
Well, Paul's going to be on back again next month. I think you're on the
Wow.
calendar for
Already
next month,
booked
yeah.
for next month. Yeah, this was just a fun
I
treat.
am.
Yeah,
I
you
am.
are. You are.
You are. You're both.
You were, like, solid
It's
booked for
actually
a
in
day.
your calendar already.
Wow, I'm invited back.
This was a fun treat. We had a guest that canceled on us, and I texted if you wanted to come on, and you said yes. So
Shoot.
this is a nice, fun treat.
Hey, I've done told every single one of y'all, I am here any week you want me, brother.
Hey, if you're in town, we'll have you.
And I think we can do a free form,
Okay,
with
good-
Paul
good-
always because
good
it's
odds.
yeah.
Good odds I'm in town on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. I think free form with Paul is the best way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
because,
It is.
Unless there's something you want to talk about, I think it's better. This type of conversation always leads to more interesting topics. I think just shooting the shit.
We all
No,
have
man,
to
I-
contribute too.
yeah,
I like it, man. I like it. It's been a good night. I've
been
enjoyed
fun.
it. It's been good catching up with everybody.
Yeah. Hell
Just
yeah.
like Cameron. Well, that being said,
Thank you very much.
cigar review. We got to close it and score.
Well, but let's wrap up the podcast.
Okay.
Thank you. Comment.
Subscribe.
Like.
And share with your friends.
We will see you next week. Sorry we missed last week, but we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Adios. Buenas noches.
Of course, I already smoked my cigar.
Live Oak Studio. You can find this at loslandscapers.com. For the month of June, any landscape lighting contract that is signed in the month of June, you're going to receive a free controller that runs those lights up to 150 watt. The average lighting job uses a 150 controller. Some of the larger landscaping jobs require a 300 watt controller, which will give you the credit for the 150 to go towards the 300. But we're throwing that promotion out this month.
Cool, man.
The other thing that we're doing is promotion on any kind of synthetic turf installation, whether it's turf or putting green. You do a putting green or synthetic turf job that is over $20,000 contractual agreement, you're going to get a 5% discount
Cool.
in the month of June with Live Oak Studio. Thank
Check
y'all
'em
for
out.
that. Thank y'all for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.
We'll see you next week.